What is up, guys? This is Zeta Man Cub from Not Your Average Bear. But I'm gonna hide that. Not sure what the rules are with this. Not trying to lose my job. All right. Yeah. So I have just seen Kong Skull. I should know this name. Kong Skull Island. Kong Skull Island. I have just seen Kong Skull Island 2 days ago, which is why I'm doing this review right now of the movie, because I am a busy man, and I just seem to not have any damn time to review this movie, and I don't want 2 or 3 days to pass without giving you a little bit of my opinion. We're gonna make this quick because I do have to get back to work. I'm on my break. Okay, I'm just trying to hide it because I don't know if I'm allowed to even do this right now. Technically, I'm on my break, so I'm not on the clock. I'm not getting paid for this, so I can't really get in trouble, but I still am on property, as you can see. But I'm not going outside, it's snowing. So yeah, Kong Skull Island. This movie, out of all the big March movies that came out or whatever, or are still coming out, because we're in the middle of March. This movie, I was looking forward to the second to the least. And by that I mean, of course, I'm talking about Logan. Then this week is Kong Skull. Then the upcoming week is Beauty and the Beast. And then and then the week after that is Power Rangers. And then after that is that movie with Scarlett Johansson. Obviously, that's the one I'm looking forward to the least, but I'm still going to see it. So this one I was looking forward to second to the least, only because I am a fan of the Godzilla franchise, or at least that one Godzilla movie. I liked it. It was cool with me. I was never really a big King Kong fan. I don't think I've ever seen the original, but I have seen the Peter Jackson one. I've always knew about King Kong and his whole story and the whole famous ending where he climbs up on the Eiffel Tower with the girl and famous pictures and holds her and then he dies and he falls, and that famous line at the very end, which I can't think of right now. It was something that killed the beast or something like that. Anyway, I was never a fan, but you know, I know about King Kong. This movie, from the trailers though, the trailers interest me. Just the visual and just the fact that it was, I just like the way it looked. It looked action packed. It looked funny in some places. It looked, they had a lot of good actors in it. Samuel L. Jackson and the guy from Loki and everybody else. And it just seemed really interesting to me. So I was looking forward to it. It was still a big movie for me, but out of everything else big that's coming out each and every weekend in March this year, 2017, it was my second to the least favorite. But at the same time, I will say, I heard some reviews. I'm usually not the guy that likes to listen to a lot of people review things first before I see it, because I want to go in with a clear mind, and whether I'm a fan of the movie or not, and just see it for myself, then go back and look at everybody's reviews and all that stuff. But for me personally, let me go back. I started to hear reviews about the film through my real life friends, and then online I was just clicking or whatever, totally breaking my own rule. And I was hearing a lot of mixed reviews, but all of the comparison basically for the mixed reviews were all the same. It was pretty much the characters where the beginning is a bunch of build-up with the characters, and it's like you don't care about them. They're like, okay, with these characters, I'm not really rooting for them. They're like, they're, whatever the complaint about the characters, let's just hurry up and get to Kong. And then once we get to Kong, it's fantastic. The action scenes are great. So I went in thinking, okay, I'm not going to care about these characters. It's dumb. It's going to be a long build-up, and I'm waiting to get to the island with Kong, and then I'm going to sit back and just love the movie after that. So with this movie, let me just say, it starts off, like they say, building up of characters. We start on in 1941 during one war, and two soldiers from both sides kind of end up on the island somehow, some way, battling each other out, and all of a sudden Kong comes out of nowhere, and the scene just goes black. Don't know what happens to them, but whatever. Fast forward 28 years to the war in Vietnam, and that war has ended, pulled us out. Yeah. Okay. And now we are here with Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson, who is I believe, the general or somebody like that. And he seems a little bitter. He seems a little bitter that they had to leave. I think he wanted to stay. Okay. He wanted to stay and fight. He obviously feels that not that they lost, but he doesn't feel like he just feels bitter that they're out of the war now. And John Goodman's character, Dan from Roseanne, and Dr. Dre from, I should know these actors' names, but I don't. Dr. Dre from Straight Outta Compton, and the new guy that's playing 24, or in the show 24, they both want to go to this island. They recruit a bunch of military people to escort them, not really telling them why they're going. But Samuel L. Jackson, of course, is happy because he's like, look, bitch, I can go back to war. I can go back, bitch. I want to go. Let's go. Let's do it. And then somehow, some way, they get Loki. I forgot his job, but he was essential too. Loki and Bree something, the female of the cast or whatever. And then they get an Asian chick. She's female too. They get them... Brie Larson, I think, right? Brie Larson, yes. They grab her because she is. Well, actually, do they grab her or does she just make her way on the ship? I forgot. But she is a photographer who is an anti-war photographer. So her and Samuel L. Jackson are already just like, bitch. I don't know if bitch. Fuck you. So they're all together, this group of people, and I actually like these characters. I care about them a little bit. Most people were saying that, we're not going to care about them. You're just trying to hurry up and get to the island or whatever. I care about some of them a little bit, and they have a lot of shots with, the soldiers or whatever that's going back who thought they were going home. You have a shot of one soldier who's writing to his son, Dear Billy, I believe. You're going to hear a lot of Dear Billies in the movie or whatever. He was writing to his son. Then you had this black dude or whatever who was, he was very, very charming and hilarious at the same time. And then you had this one, he had that quiet one that's funny, but he's kind of like quiet into himself. There's a lot of, I care about these characters. I might not remember their names, but I care about them. They're cool. So they head to the island finally. And then here we go. Big bam boom out of nowhere. They start dropping bombs and shit or whatever. And, they start dropping bombs for scientific reasons, tracking reasons. Oh, that's what Loki's there for, to be a tracker. He's a tracker, yeah. So they start dropping bombs and shit all around the island for reasons. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kong shows up and he shows out. And let me tell you, this scene, out of all the action scenes that happened throughout the whole film, this scene was the scene. Visually, it was just epic. Kong throwing trees inside of, and most of it you saw in the trailers, but the way it plays out, it's still epic. You're gonna love it if you like action scenes. And he takes down like pretty much all the helicopters, and everyone's on the ground, and they split up. They basically are split. You're either dead or they're split up into two different groups, and then one guy is split up by himself. So Samuel Jackson with most of his soldiers split up in one way, and then Brie Larson, Loki, and some scientists and some people are split up, on the other side of the island. They had to make it. They had to make it back to each other, and then make it to a point by 3 days, so the rescue copter can come get them. I'm not trying to give away too much, but throughout their adventures, stuff happens. People get killed one by one or whatever, and Samuel Jackson's team, his whole thing is trying to make it to the one soldier that's by himself and get him first and then get to the site so they can get picked up. While Brie Larson and Loki's whole thing is to hurry up and just get to the site because we got to go. Okay. So while Brie Larson and Tom Loki's team is going through the woods or whatever, they meet up with a tribe of island folk that have been there for years. And then they meet up with the guy who basically crash landed with the other guy in 1941 during that war. And he's obviously 28 years older, full beard, scruff, okay, not combed at all. And he pretty much explains the whole story about how, Kong is pretty much God, and there are actually worse monsters out there on the island that, Kong pretty much protects the island from, or the people in the island from, or whatever. And those worst monsters are the ones who killed off Kong's people. There were actually more than one Kong. There was actually a whole family. Yeah, they got killed. And Kong is now the savior, I guess, or whatever. So Kong ends up being the good guy. We're rooting for Kong now, okay? Everybody except for Samuel L. Jackson. He hates this motherfucker. Once Samuel L. Jackson saw Kong destroy all his planes and kill most of his soldiers, Samuel L. Jackson, he's pissed. Pissed as shit. And I understand, I get it, because from his perspective, you killed my soldiers. You know what I'm saying? They was about to be on their way home, and I brought them back out here for a fucking mission, for just a simple escort mission, and you gonna kill my niggas? Bitch, who the fuck want war? You obviously do. So, so he's all pissed at Kong. His whole mission actually is to go save that one soldier, and then go kill Kong instead of getting to the rescue point to go home. While on the other side with Brie Larson and Loki, they're sitting here with this with the guy who survived from 28 years ago. I forgot his name. He's a comedian. I forgot what movie he was in. I should know these actors' names. I'm so sorry, but go see the movie. He was funny. Some of his jokes fell flat, but he was funny. He was a good charm. He was a good light for kind of a dimmer movie at that point or whatever. And so they start, basically he gets an idea to, basically fix an old plane to make it into a boat or whatever. And they all fix it up. They fix it up and make it work. They start to get on the lake, and they all eventually meet up. Samuel L. Jackson's team and the Brie Larson and Loki's team. They meet up, and again, not going through all the action scenes, but people start to die one by one. They come to a clash of what the outcome needs to be. Do we just want to go all straight to the site, to the rescue site? Do we want to rescue this one person that's by his damn self or whatever, dear Billy, who wants to get home to his son, or do we want to kill Kong? All of a sudden, Samuel L. Jackson's all about killing Kong. So, all types of arguments. People are on separate sides, and again, action ensues. People start to die one by one. So, I think that's all I'll give you going towards the story. Everything else is a bunch of big action, and then there's a huge ending. But what I thought personally about this movie, it was great for what it was. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be bad. I just didn't care as much for it. I just knew it was the previews and the trailers were awesome. They were epic. They were action-packed, and I just wanted to sit back and watch a nice action-packed movie. And it's one of those movies where I could actually do that. I'm not saying it's a dumb movie. I'm not saying the movie has no thought process at all, but I can actually just sit back and turn my brain off and just watch this movie and enjoy it. It's one of those movies, it's kind of like, I love the fact that even though some people complained about you not really caring about the characters throughout half the movie, and then the rest of the movie is where the action builds up, I liked it because it did kind of what Anaconda did and Jurassic Park did at the same time. Like, Jurassic Park did it pretty well. They kind of got all the characters really quick and then got them to the island, and then we got to know them on the island, But Anaconda kind of got all the characters and dragged it out all the way to the middle, and then the action started. Then they kind of got picked off one by one. So it's kind of both of them mixed together, which I like. I kind of like those types of movies. I'm pretty sure there's many more examples, but I like those movies where you pretty much get a bunch of characters, whether you care about them or not. Usually every single one of them, if it's like 5 or 6, have different personalities. You pick one that you like, some you hate, some you laugh at, some you're like, ooh, bitch, what? Die. You just know they're going to die first. I like those. I'm a big horror movie fan, slasher fan, so that's kind of how horror movies work. You get a bunch of characters, all have different personalities, and you essentially put them in a situation and you wait for them to get killed off one by one. It's just better. It's just a treat if you actually care about them, if they actually build a story around them. And they kind of did, but it wasn't as important of a story. But they weren't just characters that I didn't give a fuck about. I gave a little bit of fucks, kind of like 3 fucks out of 10. No, I get 5 and 5.1 fucks out of 10. I did. I didn't give no fucks about them. So I like that. I like how I can just sit back and see all these characters, and the fact that I knew half of them by well, by I didn't know them by actor's name, obviously, since I can't get their fucking actor's name right, but I knew them by characters from previous movies or shows, and I just liked the fact that I knew half of these people are gonna die. So how can they die? Who's gonna get picked off first? And I just saw people getting picked off. Known characters, non-known characters. It was a fun time. I had a fun time with this, and the formula was just right for me to sit back and just be like, so who's gonna die next? Are they gonna make it? People are sad. People are mad. Who's gonna, is a flying creature gonna come and snatch somebody up? Which it did. It was pretty hilarious. I was waiting for that too, because they were just sitting out there in the open, and y'all knew shit was flying over y'all, but y'all just gonna sit there in the open and just sail across the sea like nothing's gonna come grab one of y'all. They grabbed the shit out of one of these characters and snatched him and ripped him into pieces. Overall, this movie to me was great. And I know people use different type of words like then my great is not your great. My great could be your good. My good can be your sucky. My fantastic phenomenal could be your I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying is the movie for me was great. I enjoyed myself. As a movie on its own, if I have to rate it, because I'm not a perfect educated, got a diploma for this movie critic. I am just a man, I'm a man cub who loves to see, who loves to watch movies and give his opinion on them or whatever. If I could rate this out of 10, I enjoyed it. As a movie on its own, I'll give it would be a 7. But the fact that I enjoyed it, I enjoy this formula, this sort of simplistic formula. I'm gonna bump that shit up to an 8. It was an 8 out of 10 for me. Oh shit, I forgot I do things differently. I'm sorry. I rate things from A to E, A to F. A, B, C, D, E, like school, bitch. That means I'm giving it a B. I'm giving it a B. If I rated it A, yeah, I'm giving this shit a B. A B plus or a B? We're gonna give it B. I enjoyed it. I thought I was gonna walk out giving it a C. I give this or a D even. I give this shit a B. It would have been maybe a B minus to a C plus if I just rated it by the story in general, but I had fun. It was a fun movie. It gets boosted to a B. That is my opinion. What is your opinion? Did you enjoy the movie? I know you saw it by now because everybody usually sees movies during the first weekend. If you haven't, go see it. That's why I didn't give a spoiler review. Go see the movie. Judge for yourself. Don't listen to your friends. Enjoy yourself. Be honest with yourself. Love yourself, bitch. No, what do you all think? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? If you did not watch it yet, please go see it. I'm not getting paid to say that. I just want you to see it for yourself. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Join my fam. Join my family, please. You know what I'm saying? Thumbs the fuck up this shit if you like that shit. If you did not, don't thumbs down. Go away. I thought I heard somebody outside the window. Either way, thumbs the fuck up this video, okay? Gotta get back to work because my break is over. I sacrificed lunch for you motherfuckers, okay? I'm gonna be hungry for the rest of the day, all right? That's okay because I love you. I love you, all right? And I'm out.